Hi, I'm Peter Capaldi. I play the Doctor, and you're watching EMS Productions.
Hello everybody, and welcome on to today's video. The hype is building, we're almost there. This is my preview of World Enough and Time. Well, I think it's fair to say that there's a pretty serious amount of hype around this episode coming up this weekend. Both parts of the finale I think people are very excited about. I haven't seen this much excitement since probably Hellbent at least, although that didn't quite go so well, maybe. But certainly this week's episode I personally am really excited for, probably more so than I have been in a very long time for an episode of Doctor Who. There's just so many different elements to this episode that looks like it's going to make it such an absolute classic. We've got the Master, we've got the John Sim Master returning along with Missy, we've got obviously the Dr. Bill and Naldol, we've got Mondasian Cybermen, we've got Smondas getting involved somehow as well, got other iterations of the Cybermen. There's just so many different things involved in this episode that surely make it look like it cannot fail. But let's first break down each element of what's happening in this story. Certainly the one, probably the biggest thing, is the John Sim Master returning. I did a video more about his past appearances yesterday and kind of work out where he will be, sort of where this appearance will be within his timeline. Check that video out yesterday, you'll be able to see it on my channel through there. But essentially I worked out that it seems very likely it's going to be set after the end of time from his point of view, but it's going to be fascinating to see quite what sort of plot or plan he's got going on. Is he working with the Mondasian Cybermen? Somehow he's trying to bring them, help create them or something, I don't know. Is this going to be a genesis of the Cybermen sort of story that, although we've had in Big Finish, we've never had on the TV series? Are they finally going to write that into the proper canon of the show? I'm not sure, but it's going to be fascinating to see how this Master, John Sim Master, returns and gets involved with everything. And what's also going to be fascinating is how his relationship with both Missy and the 12th Doctor. It'll be interesting to see the different chemistry that 12 and the Sim Master have compared to 10 and the Sim Master. It's been fascinating to see how they play off each other, and as well, having two Masters in the same story has never happened on TV before, so it'll be fascinating to see how they are they completely mad and bonkers together, and how does it actually play out between them? I mean, just seeing the little clip from the trailer of them dancing together shows that certainly it's going to be a bit different to when the two Doctors meet, shall we say. And the other big return is, of course, the Mondasian Cybermen. They're back after a 50-year absence. We saw them in 1966 in the 10th Planet, the Cybermen's very first appearance, and this iteration of the Cybermen have never appeared again since. So it's fantastic to see they've returned. It's going to be fascinating to see how they're really involved in this story. Is it, as I say, maybe a genesis of the Cybermen, and we're going to see these original Cybermen getting created right at the very beginning of their sort of upgrade and survival? I think that's what this story is more about, is about survival of the race that become the Cybermen, rather than a sort of upgrading the universe kind of thing that we've had in previous cyber stories, which I think could be a nice little sort of difference, focusing on that more Genesis side of things. And also good news, guys, I have read that they will be sticking with the original Cybermen voices, so we will actually get the original Mondasian Cybermen voices from 1966, those funny little sing-song voices that we had. They're actually going to be using those in 2017. It's quite remarkable, let's be honest, that this is actually happening. I don't think anybody really expected or predicted that we'd be getting these Cybermen back, because they just thought they were so dated. But looking at the pictures, they do look fairly convincing, and I think once we see them on screen, they're going to look even better and really pull it off really well, even 51 years later. But now, what do we know about the plot of this story? Well, to be honest, very little. I've read a couple of previews of the story, and they can't give much away, to be honest, just because it's such a big episode. I think there's a lot of significant things happening in this episode that they're just not allowed to talk about via the BBC, and that's fair enough. I want to be surprised and excited in this episode. But certainly it's been indicated that the pre-title sequence is going to be quite a big scene. Something potentially related to Capaldi's regeneration at Christmas is all they will indicate, but essentially it's a scene that was removed from the preview copies of the episode because it seems it's such a big scene that they didn't even include it in the initial copies they send out to the press to watch and then do their little preview review things from. This scene had actually been deleted, which probably says it's quite significant. And it's a scene that's happening straight away, which is quite surprising, so it suggests maybe it's a little bit less connected to the rest of the story and it's something a bit more to come in the finale or in Christmas rather than something to do with this story. So that'll be very interesting to see straight away quite a significant event happening, I sense. And then through this episode, we continue in this whole Missy turning good kind of thing, and the Doctor really putting her to the test by sending her out on some sort of mission or something on this massive spaceship that then clearly goes wrong. Something happens to Mondasian Cybermen, something happens to Bill because she gets split up from the Doctor, we don't know what, but the trailer seems to indicate she's starting to be turned into a Cyberman. I don't know whether that's going to happen this time. It feels like it'll be too soon since it happened last time, given that Danny Pink was converted into a Cyberman in the last Cyberman story, so I feel like it'd be a bit of a rehash if they do convert Bill into a Cyberman or Cyberwoman sort of thing again, but we'll have to wait and see how that pans out. We of course will have the reveal of the John Sim Master coming back again. It'll be fascinating to see how they do the reveal. It's been talked of in the previews that it is very much a lot of sort of build up towards this reveal, so it's going to be fascinating to see how he sort of pulls off a classic master disguise kind of thing, and then the big reveal that he is the master. It's going to be so brilliant to watch. But apart from that, I don't really know anything else, other than there's a big cliffhanger, which is pretty standard and I'm excited for, and there's some other shocks that we don't know about yet. It's got all the ingredients this episode to be an absolute classic. Certainly lots of people, I've seen previews saying that it is one of the best stories in the show's history. I mean, maybe that's a little bit of an overstatement, and I think a lot of it will be down to how the finale plays out in the second part of the story, because a lot of it has often been that Moffat's written such a brilliant first part, but then it's kind of all fallen apart a little bit in the second part. He hasn't pushed through with decisions and things that have happened in the episode, and that's certainly a big thing from one of the previews I read from the Doctor Who TV website. Said, kind of indicated there's a lot of fairly significant things that happen in this episode, but they were struggling to be fully convinced because they just felt that they were going to be sort of turned back on. So maybe that's things like Bill dying, or seeing the Doctor regenerating, or maybe one of the Master or Missy dying, or something like that. That it just feels like, from their point of view, that actually Moffat's going to turn it around and it's not going to happen in the end. And so unless Moffat really does pull through on anything major that he does in this episode, it's going to be a bit of a letdown again. But who knows with Stephen, he's so hard to predict. But yes guys, that's all I know about this episode. It looks like it's going to be an absolute thriller, one of the best episodes in recent times. I am so excited for this story. I cannot wait for it tomorrow night. Do let me go guys in the comments below. What are your theories? What are your thoughts? What are you excited about for this episode? Please do let me know, I'd love to hear them. But just a quick thing to mention guys, if you do know any more spoilers than stuff I've mentioned in this episode, please avoid posting them in the comments below. Mainly just for my benefit, because I don't want to be spoiled any more than I have been just from little previews and obviously knowing John Sim and everything. I just don't, and I will remove any comments that people put if there is any significant spoilers in there, because I just want to try and keep this still lots of surprises for everybody for this episode. So please guys, you can do your theories and thoughts and everything, but not any flat out major spoilers. Would be great. But there we go guys, thank you very much for watching the video. I'm sure you'll be joining me in the hype and watching the episode tomorrow night. I cannot wait to see it, and I'll be getting reviews and whatever I can about it out as quick as possible after the episode. So do look out for those videos guys. Remember to like this video, subscribe if you're new here, and I will see you again very soon for another video. Goodbye.